Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. For those of you who are unaware or have just not been looking at the prices over the past 24 hours, XRP is currently at the moment the coin that's going up the most over the last 24 hours. I guess this is another edition of news that's everywhere news. The rest of the market looks like it's trying to go up, but over the last day, XRP's price has been, for lack of a better word, I dare say, skyrocketing. And there's multiple things that are happening at the exact same time, which could be leading to the reason why the price of XRP is going up. The first thing, it says Ripple's ambitions and long-time objective to facilitate low-cost remittances around the globe have taken another major step forward. According to a recent announcement made by Ripple, the financial services firm has entered a partnership with International Money Express, or Intermex, a major remittance company focused on payments across Latin America and the Caribbean global corridors. The collaboration will allow Intermex to utilize ODL, formerly known as XRapid, through RippleNet in order to accelerate payments between the United States and Mexico. At the moment, ODL leverages the use of XRP in order to bridge transactions between the sender and the receiver while moderating the need for a pre-funding account in cross-border payments. The report claimed that along with Intermex, RippleNet will be directly involved in the processing of over 30 million payments throughout the year. That is a very good reason for the price of something to go up when you find out that is going to be involved in 30 million payments. A system that consists of networks of over 100,000 payer locations. Mexico is currently the third highest country in terms of remittance recipients, collecting over $36 billion in 2019. The report said through this partnership, Intermex will be able to settle key currencies and match the timing of funding with its settlements requirements, reducing costs and providing transparency to their customers. As previously reported, the race to facilitate cross-border payments in Latin America has heated up over the past year, with PayPal making a huge $750 million investment in Mercado Libre in March of 2019. Here's the actual article from Ripple themselves. It says enabling faster cross-border payments between the US and Mexico. On top of that as well, where is it? There we go. Ripple's fundraising and development arm Xpring is revealing new details on its efforts to drive adoption of the crypto asset XRP. Product manager Warren Paul Anderson says Xpring is rolling out a new development relations initiative to engage engineers who are building on the XRP ledger across the globe. It's designed to give people a central hub to share content, discover events, and gain support. He said, today we're focusing on producing the content that makes it easier for developers to access blockchain technology and digital assets through technical documentation, sample codes, tutorials, video demos, and also written posts on our blog and new forum. New communication tools to help build the ecosystem include a forum and a community page. Ripple is working to curate content to facilitate developer access to blockchain technology and digital assets. Xpring also plans to make its presence felt around the world through meetups, conferences, and hackathons. And that is also still not it, because if you look over down around here, it says the increasing liquidity of on-demand liquidity corridors, for example, is a net positive for the coin's valuation. That is XRP. The role of Bitso in the US-Mexican corridor also complements MoneyGram's ambitions, as these are seen as the demand for XRP is going to increase in tandem. Also, Ripple programmatic sales are dropping as the company has barred the direct sale of XRP and instead urges institutions to buy the asset from the open market. Remember a couple of days ago we were talking about this as well, as far as the news that for some reason that was great, but of course a lot of other websites want to make sure that it seems negative in some sort of way. Before, when Ripple was selling directly from the, oh gosh, what's it called? From the escrow, people were complaining that too much XRP was dropping onto the market. And then Ripple announced that they would be selling a lot less XRP. I forgot the exact number. I think it was only 75 million, maybe even less than that they had actually spent or sold over the last quarter, which is absolutely nothing compared to the amount of XRP that was released. It was 1 billion per quarter. Which means that they're selling less XRP. They're telling cryptocurrency exchanges and anyone else who wants XRP, you have to actually use cryptocurrency exchanges. You cannot get it from us directly anymore, which causes then other people who want XRP to have to buy directly from cryptocurrency exchanges. And once again, not through Ripple, which was the entire issue in the first place. Ripple Inc.'s focus is to increase their presence in high probability zones in Southeast Asia, and from where they can build useful partnerships in their drive of being a worthy competitor of Swift. Ripple has also been trying to move, I believe, more into Latin America, South America, and more into Asian countries as well as the entire bank partnership that we have with India. So, like I said, this was the news that's everywhere news. The news being is that XRP is performing very well because it's finally reacting to the news that it should have been reacting to for a long time. But at the same exact time, I saw somewhere else there was I mean, when I say there was a lot of Ripple / XRP news, it was absolutely insane. I think there's also a huge, not a liquidity boost. I think that might even be the term for it. Like a lot of the corridors that XRP has been passing through has been increased. So like if it was only rough numbers, if it was only a 1, it's now like a 6 out of 10. Like the use of XRP has skyrocketed at the same exact time. It's not that easy to get XRP anymore from Ripple. You now have to go through the actual open markets. And when people buy on open markets, it causes other people to be able to see that the buy orders or sell orders have been filled, and therefore people are buying up XRP. Here's the actual message from Xpring, or blog.xpring.io. And yeah, I'm sure this makes a lot of people very happy that XRP is finally moving, not even just on good news, just like in general, because XRP usually has tons of good news. So it's interesting to see the market reacting to stuff that it should be reacting to. And without further ado, let us move on. In also interesting news, the Intercontinental Exchange, or ICE, operator of the New York Stock Exchange and Bitcoin trading platform Bakkt, has reportedly made an offer to buy eBay. This was reported by the Wall Street Journal, and they apparently offered 30 billion US dollars. The Wall Street Journal reports that this is not the first time that ICE has made an offer to acquire the e-commerce giant, but now that ICE is the owner and operator of the Bitcoin futures trading platform Bakkt, which caters to institutional investors and is currently developing a consumer app for BTC. Morgan Creek Digital co-founder Anthony Pompliano suggests a net positive by having Jeffrey Sprecher, the owner of ICE, operate all 3 platforms. He said, "The owner of the New York Stock Exchange is thinking about taking over eBay at an evaluation of more than $30 billion. This is the same company that realized the importance of Bitcoin enough to start Bakkt. Would be incredible to combine the New York Stock Exchange, Bakkt, and eBay under one roof," end quote. ICE's move into cryptocurrency played out last year with the launch of its new trading platform Bakkt, which allowed institutional investors to gain exposure to Bitcoin through physically settled futures contracts. And at a slow start, Bakkt began to pick up steam. It launched its operations in December. Without having to read any much further about Bakkt, of course, you can understand and probably see exactly where all of the speculation is flowing directly from this one. I don't even know what to say. First of all, this is, like it says, it's not the first time that they've also offered to acquire eBay, which means that eBay is probably willing in some sort of way to actually sell it. For those of you who do not know, while eBay does well, it is not doing as well as Amazon, and I think also Etsy is taking a huge slice of their cake as well. I think it would be quite fascinating if we did see the New York Stock Exchange actually acquire eBay. The news for a very long time, for those of you who were not into cryptocurrencies around 2014, 15, maybe even 13, as Bitcoin's price would go up, there was huge amounts of speculation that Bitcoin was actually going to be added as a payment method for eBay. I think there were even petitions flowing around. You know how petitions always flow around. There were petitions flowing around for eBay, Amazon, I don't think for Etsy at this point, Overstock, and then Overstock ended up adding Bitcoin as a payment option. And then there was one other website. Can't remember exactly what it was, but the speculation has been for a very long time. You were even, and here's an even weirder part, you were actually able to sell Bitcoin on eBay at one point. This is a very long time ago. It was kind of weird. I won't lie to you. I had a couple of friends who had Bitcoin and they told me about it, and I was like, no way. You could actually go onto eBay, you could type in Bitcoin, and people were selling half a Bitcoin, an entire Bitcoin, whatever the thing was. But they were all, of course, selling it at a premium. So people, my friend showed me. I'll never forget this. He lives in China now. I don't think he even listens to my channel. He showed me, you click buy. It was the entire thing. Like it was a very heavy trust thing. You send the person your money through PayPal, and they would actually send it. They were actually sending him the Bitcoin. Like there was no scam involved. But I think at some point, this is when the SEC and the CFTC kind of got involved, and they were like, if cryptocurrency exchanges now have an issue with selling cryptocurrencies, you can imagine a platform like eBay having a very big issue if people are just swapping money on PayPal, and then people are actually receiving Bitcoin. Anyway, the entire point being, the information, here's the actual article right here from the Wall Street Journal. It says, New York Stock Exchange owner Intercontinental Exchange makes takeover offer for eBay. Would be interesting if by the end of this year, can you imagine a world where eBay has been acquired by the New York Stock Exchange, and then we get an announcement that eBay is going to have Bitcoin and maybe even other cryptocurrencies as a payment option. Fascinating indeed. Let's move on. Next up, former Huobi counsel and regional director his name is Josh Goodbody, is shifting to a similar role at Binance, one of the world's largest crypto exchanges by trading volume. Goodbody comes as the exchange's new director of European and Latin American growth and institutional business, Binance announced on Thursday. He was most recently head of Europe and Asia's, Europe and Americas at Huobi, and previously served as general counsel to State Street and vice president at JP Morgan's asset management division. According to his LinkedIn profile, Goodbody is also an advisor to Equilibrium, a decentralized finance startup which announced a self-funded insurance policy for one of its tokens last month. At Binance, he'll be tasked with building out the exchange's European and Latin American retail and institutional customer base, according to a press release. In the statement, Goodbody said Binance has built a strong foundation of trust to drive further growth. I am humbled to join a team that shares the same guiding philosophy that democratizing money can make a significant impact in people's lives, and the opportunity to be a part of the journey with Binance during a pivotal time of growth. Cool. This was also news that is starting to be everywhere news. I guess because for those of you who are not looking at the title of this, it says former JP Morgan exec joins Binance. So anytime that we get somebody from JP Morgan, from the New York Stock Exchange, from Amazon, from Google, anywhere major big name that you've read in a newspaper before who has moved or is moving into the cryptocurrency space, it tends to always make an enormous amount of news, simply because the idea is, why would you be leaving something else where you're already making tons of money, JP Morgan, to move into something that is uncertain, air quotes, cryptocurrencies, because the rest of the people, and that sounds kind of jerkish, but the other people who don't understand the cryptocurrency space, they always question, why would someone be leaving traditional finance for cryptocurrencies? So we already knew from before that the people from Binance had announced that they were looking to push further into the world. I was even going to say into Europe and Latin America, but as of right now, the people from Binance told us earlier this year that their entire goal for this year would be to have a fiat currency pairing for every single country on this planet. Every other day, we get about news of 3 or 4 or 5 different countries who now have a fiat pairing. So, it makes sense that they are having these people get hired. That sentence didn't make any sense, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. And connecting, not directly into it, but it's still Binance-y news. Cryptocurrency exchange Binance is adjusting its fee structure to get market makers to add liquidity on its futures platform. Under the revised Binance Futures Market Maker program, market makers will receive a negative fee for selected trading pairs, according to an official announcement on Monday. A market maker is a user who adds liquidity, money, or buying and selling limit orders in which the limit price is above the current market price by placing a trade in the order book. A market taker is the one who takes liquidity off the market by filling a trade already placed. Exchanges generally try to enhance liquidity on their platforms by offering makers, people who do things, lower fees compared to those offered to takers who take away while filling an order. Binance, however, has upped the ante by announcing what's effectively a reward for placing market-making trades on select pairs. Binance hasn't yet disclosed details relating to the negative fee structure. To join the program, market makers must have a 30-day trading volume in excess of, wow. Over the course of 30 days, you have to have traded over 1,000 Bitcoin on Binance. Good luck. And have quality market maker strategies, the post says. The exchange will also accept proposals with evidence of similar trading volumes. Whoa, pulled out the microphone. On other platforms. This is something that I think Coinbase tried to do something like this before, or there were other exchanges who had higher fees, and then people were like, hey, lower your fees. The idea is, if someone is normally trading, and let's say they're only, air quotes, trading with around half a Bitcoin, and they do maybe 3, 4, 5 trades a day over the course of a month, that adds up to money. However, if someone is sloshing back and forth 30, 40, 50 Bitcoin at one time, they're adding a lot of liquidity and a lot of movement to the actual market, and therefore the idea is that they get a lower fee because you want to entice them to kind of stay on your platform, especially with the news that we had yesterday that was it Bakkt's Bitcoin options that apparently no one is actually trading them. I think it's Binance, BitMEX, and one other crypto name who have the highest volumes right now in the Bitcoin futures, which is really weird if you think about it, because one would assume that it would be the actual legacy platforms that would have the most energy flowing through them. Lo and behold, it's the actual cryptocurrency exchanges, which makes, I don't want to say it makes me happy, but it's nice to see that people are using crypto exchanges rather than other options. Anyway, here's the actual announcement right here. I assume this will work. I've seen a lot of hate towards Binance recently, and I think a lot of it, in my opinion, is unwarranted. I have seen people jump on the I hate Binance wagon because they've seen some other person saying that they hate Binance and therefore that they should also hate Binance. They're a company. They're there to make money. We are all here to make money. So just kind of think of it that way. Thus far, Binance has been extremely transparent, whether it be with a hack, loss of money, things that are going on. Should something negative happen, they are usually the first to tell us. I think there are other crypto exchanges who are far less genuine. I've seen this uptick, and it's very, very weird. And people who think that something is wrong with Binance, and it's like, to each his own. It's just how we all have to cohabitate together. Anyway, here's the actual blog post from Binance. It says Binance Futures Market Maker Program has negative maker fees. Yeah. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Chongololo Tsongololo, Nostromo, Mr. Pickles, John Sarson, the Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Barebones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Milweezy, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Nicholas Renorth, One Piece, One Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick, Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Krypton Beer, Shipmate, Paxis, Nick, Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes, 2 Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Arf Medic 17, Bake Me a Cake, and Tigara Machonisa. Thank you all very, very much for your support, and thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. The moment, everything's in green except for Tether, which is a very good sign. Bitcoin is currently above 9,200 again. It was at 9,140 or something like that last night, and people were like, yeah, it looks like it's going below 9,000. Calm down. Ether is currently up. The reason, for those of you who, I think last night, the only coins that were up last night were Lumens and not even Tron. It was Lumens and something else. XRP started skyrocketing. It is currently up by 11.91% over the last 24 hours. And that's when the rest of the market also started to pick up as well. Let's see if this momentum can hold. I think it can, because this also started sometime last night as well. So I think we should see a higher push in the price of XRP. If this does continue, whether you like XRP or not, it'll have a very beneficial effect on the entire market. What has happened before, for those of you who don't know, and this is even kind of how I look at the market. We've had tons of situations before where XRP was going up very rapidly and other coins began to follow. You know, the momentum picks up, everyone goes, okay, bull market, bull market, bull market, bull market. And then all of a sudden, XRP looks like it's going to get relatively close to pushing past Ethereum, which is done, I think, 3 or 4 times before in the past. And then Bitcoin and Ethereum end up skyrocketing. I don't know if it's the fear of XRP passing Ethereum. I don't know if it's the fear of getting that in the news and therefore people start saying, let me buy up XRP and maybe XRP could pass by Bitcoin. Who knows exactly what it is, but these two, number 1 and 2, tend to perform incredibly well when XRP looks like it's going to pass by Ether. So like I said, you may not like it, but you may also probably start crossing your fingers to hope that XRP continues to go up, because the rest of the market will also then perform as well. Nothing else too crazy. Lumens, like I said, Lumens is also up. No real Lumens news, at least at the moment. Maybe something has happened behind the scenes that we just have yet not heard about. Neo is also up. Why is Neo up? That is a very good question. We haven't heard any Neo news for quite some time, except for their rebranding, which was like 6-7 months ago that we heard about that. Ontology's up. Question mark. Why is it up? And Lisk is also up by 26%. Sure. Live your life. Right. I think that's it for this video. I can't really think of anything else or crazy that's been happening. But you know what's going on. All the articles are starting to pop up once again talking about Altseason. And to be fair, the last 4.5 weeks have been very good for the market. A lot of altcoins have been performing better than they've been performing since 2018, 2019. Like, they've actually been performing quite well. So let's hope that this momentum continues, because even if we get into a situation where just the altcoins start pushing up, this will also be beneficial for Bitcoin's price. This is why I always say, like, everyone in the market should be working together and not trying to tear each other down, because we are all in the same market. We have more than enough other people and companies and corporations who want cryptocurrencies to die. You may not like a certain coin. I'm floating over 2 that I don't like, but still, let's try to be supportive of each other, because if XRP does well, the rest of the market will also do well as well. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. Let's hope for some more good news as the day ends up going on. We've been doing pretty good with news. We haven't had much negative news. Everything seems to be pretty good for the time being. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.